Before we get into today's show, let me tell you about HubSpot. If you're hustling in the trenches to build a business or bootstrapping one of your own, let's talk about an AI-powered tool that can lighten up your workload a bit. HubSpot's Campaign Assistant is a game changer for creating marketing campaigns at scale. It quickly turns your key selling points into a cohesive pitch, which helps you deliver knockout emails, ads, and landing pages in minutes. So let Campaign Assistant take care of the campaigns so you can get back to growing your business. Work smarter, not harder at HubSpot.com/campaign-assistant.
Howdy, folks. It is Thursday, March 9th. I'm Jacob Cohen here with Juliet, Bennett, Rylah, and you are listening to The Hustle Daily Show. Today, we're going to be talking about something you may be using this very moment. Spotify. Yesterday, the company announced some of the biggest changes coming to the platform in basically a decade, probably since it became a mobile app. And it also announced some new numbers about the business's growth, and we'll get into all that. But first, let's take a quick look at what else is going on in the world of business and tech. Let's get crack-a-lackin'. Okay, first things first, I thought this was very neat. Add 10 years to the average human lifespan. That is the goal of the startup Retro Biosciences, which MIT Technology Review confirmed yesterday secured $180 million in funding from OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. You know, nowadays, Altman is primarily known for his work with OpenAI, but he's invested hundreds of millions of dollars in other kind of moonshot ventures, startups in energy, aging here, hypersonic flight. He also has invested in a company called Humane, which yesterday it was reported raised $100 million. It's a startup co-founded by a husband and wife duo who used to be directors at Apple. Its total funding is now at $230 million. It's unclear what Humane actually does. No one is quite sure, but according to the Wall Street Journal, patents hit at some kind of interactive wearable projector device, and I look forward to seeing what that is. In other news, Blue Origin is facing 2 lawsuits accusing the space company of ageism. One from a hiring manager who said he was told to find younger candidates, and another from a 64-year-old job applicant. Also, in space-related news, I was really hoping to catch yesterday's orbital launch of Relativity Space's 110-foot-tall, 85% 3D printed rocket. Unfortunately, it was scrubbed at the last minute. We'll have to see it another time, but what I liked most about that story was, like a supportive parent, Relativity Space dubbed the rocket's mission GLHF, standing for Good Luck, Have Fun. Love that. Also, American Airlines CEO said the company will match Delta's pay bump for pilots in a deal that could amount to 40% in cumulative pay increases over 4 years. A pilot shortage has led to delays and cancellations across the industry. Also, GM is inching forward very slowly on its electric vehicle front. It's reportedly building just a dozen Hummer EVs a day in a much slower than hoped rollout of the vehicle, according to the Wall Street Journal, which the vehicle, by the way, is an 80,000 person wait list. It also sold just about 1,000 Cadillac Lyrics since launching in March 2022. For reference, Tesla sold more than 250,000 Model Ys last year, a direct competitor to the Lyric. Also, fintech giant Stripe is reportedly raising $6 billion at a $50 billion valuation from Thrive Capital, General Catalyst, and Andreessen Horowitz and Founders Fund. And last but not least, never thought I'd live to see the day this happened, but apparently Hershey's is releasing non-dairy Reese's and Hershey bars. And this I really thought I'd never live to see happen. But Sunny D is getting into cocktails and rolling out a canned vodka seltzer at select Walmart locations. How about that?
I think a lot of people probably put Sunny D in vodka already, perhaps an ill-advised decision in their college years.
Yes. But I'd never thought I'd live to see the day that the company did exactly that. Okay, so Juliet, yesterday I was watching Spotify's Stream On event. It's its annual event where they announce all the big product releases, different changes to the app, developments in the business. And I have to say, I think I heard the phrase "only on Spotify" like 300 times, and I'm kind of sick of it.
Yeah, I bet.
Yes. So what went down? Well, I think the biggest change is to the app's design. It's going to see really the biggest update in, I think, a decade, even since it probably first became a mobile app and looked way different than it does today. Now, instead of a bunch of album covers, basically, when you go on, the home screen will look a lot more like an endless, vertically scrolling mishmash of auto-playing content from Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, and Audible. Obviously, it's all Spotify content, but it'll look like a mishmash of all that kind of stuff. You're going to see music content, video content from podcasts, and potentially some audiobook content as well. Now, the point of this is Spotify wants to make it easier and more engaging for people to discover and consume all this non-music content, in addition to the music content that it's invested in over the years. One thing I thought was interesting and kind of funny, Spotify's product chief said the point of the new feed is to help users save time discovering new content. But as I thought, and as The Verge's Alex Heath also pointed out, it seems really antithetical to the idea of an endless feed. But we'll see how it goes. I think a lot of people think that this will be really cool and engaging, and a lot of people are going to be like, please return the basic music listening experience to this app.
Yeah. Is it going to be like how when I go to Netflix and I'm just browsing, it tries to play a trailer automatically from every single movie?
Exactly.
Because that's really irritating and I don't like it.
I think that's exactly what it's going to be. And I think I saw a lot of people basically asking Spotify on Twitter, please give me an option to turn this off.
Yeah. I want to be able to turn that off.
Right. Now, the company also dropped a whole bunch of new stats about itself, about the business. It now has more than 500 million users. It's aiming for $1 billion by 2030. It's nearing $40 billion in all-time payouts to the music industry and now accounts for more than 20% of global recorded music revenue, up from under 15% in 2017. And I thought these next few numbers were neat too. So compared to 2017, in 2022, 57,000 artists on Spotify generated more than $10,000. And that's up from 23,000 in 2017. A little more than 10,000 artists on Spotify generated more than $100,000, up from a little over 4,000 in 2017. And around 1,000 artists generated more than $1 million, up from 460 in 2017. Also, this was cool. The 50,000th highest earning artist on Spotify made $12.5 thousand last year, and that's up from 2.8 thousand in 2017. So more people are making more money on Spotify, but still, there's a lot more artists on Spotify that are making virtually no money. So it's important to point that out too. Also neat, in 2022, 281,000 songs were streamed more than 1 million times each on Spotify. That's just a nice fun fact. Now, I think that the important thing to point out here is it wasn't all feel-good hits yesterday. You know, like we were saying before, in Twitter comments, a bunch of users were saying they just want the app to keep things simple. This is way too much going on. They don't want the app to turn into TikTok. Also, the Future of Music Coalition, which is a musician advocacy group, said they thought it was pretty ironic that Spotify claims to help small creators, but then does things like bring the Jonas Brothers on stage to announce some of these new features, which I did think was funny. And others recently, you know, in Spotify's latest earnings call, have questioned the early success of the company's move into audiobooks, which has really been stumped by their payments predicament with Apple's App Store and their payment processing rules, and not wanting to use the App Store to process payments. So, you know, a lot of growth at Spotify, but there are also some things, you know, it's easy to point out all these big numbers, these big successes, but there are also some things that people aren't so happy about, or people might not even want changed in the first place.
Yeah. I'm not particularly excited about any of these changes, I must say. I use it mostly for podcasts, I would say, and to house playlists. And when I'm looking at a podcast that I might listen to, I don't want to hear it start playing. I just want to read the description. Same as I do with Netflix. I'm not excited about that feature at all. I feel like it is just going to be a lot of clutter and use more data and get in the way. Like, there are things that I think Spotify could do that would make it a more seamless app. like stop trying to get me to be in car mode all the time when I'm just walking at a pace that is clearly not car.
You must be a real speed walker.
Yeah, maybe make it easier to find things that I might like instead of just suggesting the same 6 things over and over again. I mean, there are things that I think Spotify could do. I'm just not sure that these are it.
Yeah.
We'll see. I will look at it. I will wait to see it. I will say I have seen the audiobooks. That's cool, although entirely pointless because I cannot buy them in the app. So then I just go to Hoopla, which is the library. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation. I think it is interesting what you said about, the podcast, because they literally made a whole announcement during this presentation about this new feature where after you finish a podcast, they're going to just automatically start playing another one they think you might like. And I don't think that's something people want.
No, I think a lot of people just want to hear the very next episode in order of the podcast they're listening to. That's not a shuffle time.
Right, exactly.
It's like Adele's album. That's a no shuffle time.
The no shuffle time is a sacred time. All right, bada bing, bada boom. That's going to do it for us today, folks. Thanks for tuning in to the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of the HubSpot Podcast Network. Our editor today is Ezra Trupiano. Our executive producer is Darren Clarke. We've got a lot more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, you can go sign up at thehustle.co/email. Hope you have a terrific Thursday. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Hey guys, if you listen to the Hustle Daily Show on Google Podcasts, we want to let you know that the option will no longer be available pretty soon. Google is sunsetting its podcast app sometime in early 2024 in favor of YouTube Music, and we want to give you a heads up before it's too late since that time's almost here. The Hustle Daily Show is available everywhere and anywhere that you listen to podcasts like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're using YouTube Music, we are there as well. If you're an Android fan, there are plenty of apps like Overcast, Pocket Casts, Player FM, and more. So just search for us wherever you decide to listen to your favorite podcasts.